Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about the new movie, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Across the Spider-Verse is the much anticipated sequel to Into the Spider-Verse, and I've been really looking forward to it. The synopsis is as follows. After reuniting with Gwen Stacy, Brooklyn's full-time friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is catapulted across the multiverse, where he encounters a team of spider people charged with protecting its very existence. However, when the heroes clash on how to handle a new threat, Miles finds himself pitted against the other spiders. He must soon redefine what it means to be a hero so he can save the people he loves most. So without further ado, let's get into the 6 things that make a movie great. 1. The plot. For the first part of this movie, I honestly didn't know if this movie knew where it was going. You kind of just see Miles living his life, doing his thing, having interactions with his parents, fighting crime here and there, but not really having a super solid direction. And usually that means bad things for a film, but for this movie, it meant the opposite. The small and subtle plot details that seemed random at the time ended up tying into things later in the movie that were crucial to the story. And getting to see Miles progress into the next step of being Spider-Man and following Gwen to the other spiders made the story that this movie told very entertaining. And when you truly discover what's at the heart of the plot, you're right in the middle of everything going on, and it's super intense, exciting, and a lot of fun to watch. This movie ends on an absolute cliffhanger that is absolutely suggesting a sequel, but it doesn't take away from the journey that you went on during this film itself. So for me, plot gets a huge thumbs up. 2 is family friendliness. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is rated PG. There is a lot of action and violence, there's some very mild profanity, and there are quite a few sequences of peril. All of those moments in and of themselves are entertaining but tame when pertaining to this category. But I also wanted to talk about the family dynamics in this movie. What this movie does is it shows that family dynamics are imperfect, but they can still be very strong and can potentially have redemption. And that strong family dynamic that is throughout this movie was really refreshing to see. It's been a while and I've missed it. It really worked for this movie and it was a really positive element. So for me, family friendliness gets a thumbs up. 3 is acting and script. All of the voice actors and actresses in this movie did an absolutely excellent job. Haley Steinfeld was excellent as Gwen Stacy, Shameik Moore was awesome as Miles Morales, and all of the other voice actors, the ones you recognized and the ones you didn't, played their parts really well. There was one version of Spider-Man that was extremely difficult to understand, but the moments where you could understand him were funny. And that leads me to the script. The script of this movie is absolutely fantastic. Not only does it allow room for a lot of funny moments and very subtle, funny dialogue moments, but it also includes a lot of really heartfelt scenes and interactions between characters that are very enjoyable. Quite frequently, movies have a hard time balancing heartfelt moments and humor, but they went hand in hand in this movie, and that shows signs of a very mature and talented scriptwriter. And the story itself was very well told and progressed very nicely with the script along with it. So for me, acting and script get a huge thumbs up. 4 is character development. The most character development in this movie comes in the form of Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy. You do get some major character building moments with Gwen's character, and just a touch of backstory into her universe and her experiences with her dad. And while she also has good character building moments with Miles, a lot of his character building moments come from his interactions with his mom and dad. Like I mentioned before, there's a strong family dynamic in this movie, and I love that this movie made time in the midst of all of the action and awesome moments to have these heartfelt character building moments that Miles had with his parents. They did a really great job with these moments, and it allowed Miles' character to take the next step in becoming a stronger Spider-Man. This is the step that was really missing in a movie like Shazam 2, so I'm really happy to see that this movie did not miss the mark there. All of the side spider characters do a good job of helping bring both Gwen and Miles along in their character journeys. So for me, character development gets a huge thumbs up. 5 is visuals and CGI. Obviously, this category is very important to these films, and again, they did an excellent job. I will say that I think Across the Spider-Verse has more visually going on than the first movie did, and it made it slightly harder to follow with your mind. There is a plethora of subtle, minute details in every single scene to the point where you could watch this movie 5 different times and see something new every time. I love that about this movie, but because there's so much visually going on, it can be a lot to handle at times. But that's just me being picky because this movie is fantastic and the visuals are incredible. And all of the attention to detail that they put into this movie, especially in this category, make it the amazing movie that it it is. So for me, visuals and CGI get a huge thumbs up. And 6 is rewatchability. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is 2 hours and 16 minutes long, and while there are 1 or 2 moments where it feels long, this movie earns its runtime. Not only is Across the Spider-Verse an excellent sequel to Into the Spider-Verse, but there's so many important things happening in this movie that it has great standalone watchability. It's a very entertaining and excellent next chapter in Miles Morales' story, and it's a lot of fun to watch. So for me, rewatchability gets a thumbs up. With all these areas considered, I have to give Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse a 9.5 out of 10. This movie has great voice acting performances, an excellent script, a busy but very well told plot, incredible visuals and CGI, really strong family dynamic undertones, and it is absolutely packed to the brim with subtle details across the board that make it funny, visually entertaining, and really a standard of excellence in filmmaking. Whenever a movie gets as much hype as this one does, I'm always skeptical while going into it, but this movie definitely deserves it, and it's definitely worth going to watch in movie theaters. Like I mentioned before, this movie does set itself up for a sequel, and there are no mid or post-credit sequences, so you don't have to wait around at the end. Thank you so much for watching. If you've seen Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. As always, I appreciate your love and support, and I'll catch you guys and gals in the next one.